Welcome. Let's get into it. I was watching Nick Zentner's new videos on the Pacific Northwest. Which may be apt, but it brought something to mind, and I thought I'd maybe just
What I
play
want to show you is that this is Pangea, and I want you to notice
the lectures about this region.
right in here, this is the Tethys Sea, and I hope you can see that this is open ocean all the way around until we get to this is Western North America. So I'm truly saying that during this time we are getting stuff that has Tethyan fossils from here off to the right, bring it in from the left, and
That whole bring it in from the left part. Expanding Earth like this is generally connected. For sure, Australia is over here. Antarctica is connected also here. On the expanding Earth smaller radius globe, so that this is also connected. So I'm thinking, this is what it brought to mind, that I've been kind of thinking that what happened was that the Tethys did form, kind of opened, like it was a single landmass, and then the Tethys started to open on one side. So if I do like this, it'll open like this, which produced a channel along it where some of the current went this way and some of it went this way. So he's saying some of the material from the Tethys is found over here, which makes sense if this flow kind of actually went to it. It's like the end of a channel, and until this channel opened up here to like connect through, and then something happened that basically caused the Tethys, this temporary ocean that was opening, to that went like this, to then do the other way and close up and become as we see it today. But
then added 170 million years ago. All the while, we're breaking apart.
okay, let's find some more maps. Okay, this is really where I found most intriguing.
400 million years ago. Do you see how much of a mind stretch we need to go here? We can't use any present-day geography. But we have good evidence that these continents were placed in this place at this time 400 million years ago. And here's the old equator this time. This is before Pangaea. So this says Laurentia, but that means North America. This says Baltica, but that means Northern Europe. And we're going to somehow get pieces of Wales and Scotland away from Baltica and send them through the Arctic, even though the Arctic at this time, 400 million years ago, was south of 30 degrees north. Is this making sense to you? Not the Arctic today, but the Arctic back then. We're saying Arctic because we're between Siberia and North America. Well, here it is. This is the Alexander. This is our chunk.
Arctic.
But there's other chunks as well that did this swinging through.
Swinging through between Baltica. So no, between Siberia and Baltica. This is pretty clearly on the map here. This. So this looks like it's England and Ireland. This is what's Sweden, Norway, yeah. Where's Scotland? I feel like I heard. Oh yeah, Been to Scotland. I'm sorry, Scotland. I just concluded you as England. I was like, why was Scotland mentioned? I was thinking maybe it was this one in my head because I wanted it to be one of these, but it was Sweden I was thinking of. I knew Norway. I was like, what's the other one? I think it starts with S. Maybe it was Scotland, and then I just wanted it to be, and suddenly Scotland was not even in the UK. Okay, anyway, the point is some kind of flow that went through this way that looks like it generally went then like this way, just across here, across this way. But we're talking 425 million years. This is before this really became the pole. This is what I'm thinking. Is this structure didn't yet exist. This is early on. This current came across this way at this width underneath Scotland, the UK, Ireland, as well as just Northern Europe at like this very wide and not producing any support structures really, like these. Anywhere it's blue is current flows that dominate. Anywhere it's pink is where current flows pushed materials to mound them to then create walls to dominate that basically current didn't flow through. So it's like either current or structure, one or the other can exist somewhere. And that with like relative degrees, where like this blocks some current, but not as much as like a bigger mound might block, or etc. Like over here. And this allows for a significant current to just flow down into. But this here is just this wide channel, flows across, and then it flows into, I've been saying it just flows into, like creates like it flows like forward and creates like a fist as it goes underneath the ocean, because the continents are still conjoined. So the Atlantic Ocean doesn't exist. This is just going directly from Europe under North America. And at that point, it was still conjoined as if they were one landmass. There was no like divide between them. But then there was an ocean there, so the presence of the ocean caused a heat exchange through the crust with this undercurrent that then caused the undercurrent to solidify and form like a fist with like knuckles that had another knuckle even here, another knuckle maybe there, and like just a literal fist. And generally that, but like it may have also gone like up this way and like across here, not just here and here. So essentially the way I've been describing it is it comes over, it creates this structure. This structure prevents the current from flowing into it because it solidifies and produces a wall that prevents the current flow as the pressure builds up in here, as it just like does it more until it just cannot do it anymore, and the current just preferentially finds a new route by just cutting the continents across, cutting through, like literally going up between it and like erupting out and then pushing the continents apart to create this space for the current to flow. Generally between this width. But I haven't really thought about what happens on this side of of the situation, especially when he's saying 425. Like, this process began like 550, so that would be like the first thing happening, it seems, is like some chunks going in a current through this way, through the pole, what would become the pole, just through this region before this structure really had formed, probably, given the date. And then, like, this path blocked off as well because of other circumstances, current flowing up here, creating a pole, and just like holding this region as it is, forming like a pole structure here. Really notably in like a elongated, I never really noticed this, more like an eyeball type of structure there. But maybe this is like the little tab that shallograms have. This is what I've interpreted as like the tab that shallograms have. Shalligram, shalligram. This tab here. It's subtle in the black, but this material also has it in it, which is interesting. That happens more than this one. I probably don't have any more of those spheres. Here's another one with the tab going in, and like a coloration difference.
So let's do it with some other maps from Joanne Nelson. Here's the time. Here's our Northern European scraps. And they're leaving Northern Europe, and they're somehow going to get all the way around the Horn. Alaska doesn't exist at this time, by the way. All the way around the Horn, and we're somehow going to have them land in the Pacific Northwest. You want to do it? Let's do it. Doink.
It makes me think, because it's pieces from up here, sorry, that the mantle puncture hole is here. Let's get rid of layers. Mantle puncture hole is here. This structure. Here's that bird head. Bird head, mantle puncture hole is here. And essentially current flowed under the crust in all directions, preferentially rotating with the rotation of the Earth, causing it to go the opposite direction. So it went this way largely, but it also went like up this way and down. It gave me the thought maybe as it goes this way, it also went up, a lot up, but because the globe is a sphere, like it's going along a surface, and maybe it generally like causes a upward pressure, as even though it's like going along the surface, at every point it's like pushing up a little bit to a point where maybe it broke some pieces off over here and like transported them through here. Alaska was not like this, as he shows it. It's literally this, anything with this dark color existed pretty much. This didn't even exist. So it really didn't have like this chunk. So it just passed right through, probably exactly right along this line, and then still right along to right there. And then all of Alaska was like formed afterwards in the process somehow. I'm not sure exactly if all of Alaska completely or what's going on, but
395.
here comes these materials though through.
Alexander terrains through the old Arctic corridor Throw in the Yucatan Tanana and a few others as well. But let's freeze it right here. 290, so we're mostly to Pangea time now. I know this is mind-blowing if you haven't heard this before. Now we have, let's just slow down for a second. Here's the Northern European stuff, Alexander, that by 290 million years ago has connected to Wrangelian, which is a famous exotic terrain. This is the European stuff. But look what's also out here in the water next door. Here's our Buddy Cache Creek, which is in between Stikine and Cornelia. And so this is the Southwest Pacific. So we have lined up, docked, not docked yet, but out there in the water, European stuff and Southwest Pacific stuff, all poised to...
Southwest Pacific, so you're saying Indonesia? So there's known stuff from Indonesia. Which, by the way, was generally here. So, like, let's look at this. Animations. I should probably not be recording. Oh, fuck. Here's Papua New Guinea. Australia. Mind you, it's a smaller globe. This is wrong. This is actually upward. This is my mistake. This is upward, like I was just showing. Like, it just continues up this way and doesn't turn around this corner because this corner didn't yet exist. And so it was over here, like this way. Essentially pointing down. These two things went around the top of this. That's my interpretation. And just continued where the end of this was connected to here, which here was folded in here, and then Philippines were along this stretch, and then Borneo, I think it's called. I need to re-establish that. Was then to here. People are like, what in the fuck? He keeps calling it whatever. This was a failed attempt to do what although it's good that I see this, because I was just thinking, what is happening with this chunk? But, where is it? Western Australia. This. So it's basically folded in along here because it was a globe like this, like it had to fold in where the curvature just was more rapid, so it was more like this. Where this section though was here, so I'm not sure what exactly to make of it all. Like maybe there's something else with this stretch. Also, I've heard about the Plain of Jars yesterday. Somewhere around here. It would probably show up if I... Since I mentioned it. Plain of Jars. Sure. Pretty much very little studying because apparently the United States dropped millions of bombs here. I don't know if that's a true number. That sounds ridiculous. Millions of bombs? And when I hear that, I'm like, are you sure? Not thousands. Millions sounds a little... Just literally, it was like infeasible. Like, holy shit! If so, that would be just like, how would it not just be destroyed utterly? But anyway, they dropped bombs in large quantities. Is for certain. I don't know how many bombs, but anyway, there's definitely like craters where there's just more bomb explosions nearby these things. And my first impression was maybe there's some kind of. I thought this reminds me of a solar array that we just have out in a field kind of idea. I know it's the geology has changed. These are considered to be. I think they're legitimately considered. No, no. They're based on the UV damage or something to do with the damage of the Earth beneath them relative to the damage of the Earth around them. They are dated to like 3,000 years old or something. That must have been frightening. Damn, he fucking died. He fuck. Oh. But I was thinking, what if they're like a solar array, but not for solar cell, like solar power, but for cosmic energy? I don't know if I can find it quickly. There's only a few of them that have the lids on them, but they do have the lids. They're very interesting. I was also thinking, are they geological? But they really look man-made. The locals say that they're for making like rice alcohol by giants made them for making rice alcohol or something. Which, when the locals have a story that they really pass down, like there's some things that the locals don't have a story for, which is odd. It's almost like there isn't such a story, but like when they're adamantly like holding on to the story to the point where it's still considered to be what happened is that these are made by giants and they use them for a purpose of making rice alcohol. That one doesn't really mesh honestly with my interpretation very well. I mean, unless rice alcohol is some type of like lost in the translation of cosmic energy, which is, I guess, feasible to a degree, but I wouldn't say plausible necessarily, just enough that like I wouldn't write it off completely without really looking into it, which I haven't done. But in short, I was just thinking maybe like a cosmic ray. The lids have spirals on them or concentric circles. Some of them have like structures on them. They said the frogman. I think China. I swear they said frogman. Hieroglyph. I swear they said frogman. I don't know what. Okay, man. Symbol on plane of jars. Lid. So it's just kind of like a center with parallel protrusions, which maybe are for directing current, is kind of what I was thinking. Like, if, like, it's possible this is for directing current. I don't know what it would achieve and why it would be like the choice of design. And they're not all the same, so that's kind of odd. And they're not the same, like, design here, which makes it more like they're drinking related or just storage related and not like precisely engineered related to some cosmic energy storage device. But like the lids don't fit well. Almost looks like this one almost looks like it has a channel. right here, like an intentional channel, maybe. I don't know. And maybe. So that was kind of thoughts I was having, although maybe it even has not just an intentional channel, but like maybe it captures energy from the earth that spirals in. But then there's like human remains, and they're considered to be like related to cremation. And it may be like I haven't looked enough to like. Basically, I disagree and would like them to be cosmic energy storage devices, where I'm gonna just like fully investigate that angle without like fully investigating what's already proposed to see how evidence based it is. Certainly, there's evidence of cremation in the cave nearby, so at least from what it sounded like. I'm not sure that's what it was for. I'm not sure why they would be cremating. Let's see, I think this 1240 BC is the supposed date, although I mean, given their structure, it's kind of ridiculous to say that in a time that is much more like approaching documented history, they were doing this for some reason. Like, what? So the proposals are like collecting rainwater. And then the idea is like, well, they can boil the water. So even though it's, yes, of course, it would be stagnant, but they can boil the water. So they knew they could boil the water. So that's why they did it that way anyway. And I'm like, it's still fucking nasty, first of all. How the fuck do you clean that out? You can't, like, tip it over easily, if assuming you, like, are like us and, like, somehow manage to move it. Now you gotta tip it over to, like, easily empty it, so you can't really do that. It's just a pain in the ass. So, like, why would they do that over, like, finding a river source to be near? It doesn't really make sense. I guess if, like, there are no river sources, but why? I don't think the earth was so populated to like not just choose near better places where you just wouldn't need this. So that doesn't seem like the best explanation. Then the cremation, there's arguments that they're cremation based because there's skeletons found nearby, some within them, some cremated remains, and because there's skeletal and cremated remains within them, I thought, what if they were like, oh shit, there's like fucking a stream of lava or some like hot flow visible. So like pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. This flow here, it's coming down this way, right at the plane of jars. But if you notice, it's like the only place that's got this like brown in the whole area, really. So it's almost like it didn't get hit by this current flow, like it flowed around it. So I was thinking maybe these things are like way more buried under the terrain locally, and these are like where they were easily visible because a current flow just didn't really get here so much. But like maybe whatever the current was so intense, like overall, of hot, like it's a hot energy flowing through this way, that literally people hid inside of these jars and then were cremated because it didn't work out for them. Like, but they were cosmic energy sources, or like receivers, storage devices, that maybe like the purpose was even energy for self, like literally for like the body, to sustain the body, because we pretty much need to sustain ourselves. But if we can figure out ways to do it, like people have different diets, maybe their diet was so different that they had a more cosmic energy source as their diet, and they just didn't really have to be like hunting or a predator of any living creature on Earth or being, even plants, and they just survived on cosmic energy. Like, that would be cool. I don't know why they would put all of them like right next to each other, so it seems more like an array for some reason. I don't know, just a thought. They're so odd. They're very odd. They don't have a good explanation. They certainly are not researched very heavily. Like, what is going on? Look how big that is. Pardon me, ma'am. Oh, we saw another lid there. There's a square one. There's some of them are elongated. Like, they remind me of the Earth the currents, like, in the ocean, especially visible. Like, sometimes they're like this one, let's say. Let's say like this. Not a lot, it's just circular. Other times they have like two systems, like 1, 2, that are, or like this one. This is probably a good one. Where it's elongated and not circular. What the fuck is wrong with me? Oh my god. Please don't die, self. There's so much more to do. There's two kind of conjoined. And if we look here, like this current, it doesn't like flow in and then flow out. Like, it continues through here, through here, through here, through here, through here, through. It's a through current. Let's say over here, even like these ones are still through current. Like, at some point they work their way into eddies, but a lot of the, like, there's a through current, which reminded me of Lysengang rings. Like, these for sure are designed by current flows like the ocean that are then frozen, where like through currents, maybe. I really messed my feet up. Incroyable. Maybe that was like right at the edge. Like, it's within the edge, like right here maybe was the edge. I wonder if how old this is geologically. Is this, let's say Cambodia, to make sure we're getting geological age of Cambodia. Post-expansion. I mean, that's what this means, post-expansion. It's a little early within the expansion process. Paleozoic. Early Paleozoic. There are no dated Precambrian rocks in Cambodia. So this is accreted? Is this considered accreted? I guess I was reading that on. No, accrete. Okay. Let's check it out then. Holy whoa. Yeah, this is all. So what I'm thinking is Alaska, in the same way that Alaska is like newly formed, somehow exactly how, I'm not quite sure. In the same way that it kind of flows and forms in after the fact here, like after these pass through.
And add acreage to us, but it's not happening yet. This is the kind of detail that's been put together.
Let's see over here. Oh, that's pretty specific. Okay. 100. Okay, let's maybe watch this real quick.
And this is more just an animation to play, to give you a sense that the purple is already the material from the Southwest Pacific that's accreted. The orange is in part our European material, and we will look at this again in the other lectures this spring.
Orange is European material. Orange. So it flows in this way. Past a flow that's coming this way. There's a flow going in this way and then spreading. I don't know if it's happening. Yeah, it's probably happening in this time frame, which is probably making it flow past it, and then it like accretes to some nearby terrain. Maybe not sure exactly, but that's from, if it does that, maybe it actually just accretes directly and is, I mean, this is probably based in pretty like important data, so it probably isn't accreted directly.
And this is more just an animation to play, to give you a sense that the purple is already the material from the Southwest Pacific that's accreted. The orange is in part our European material, and we will look at this again in the other lectures this spring to see what's going on, to tease out all these details within this animation. Just wanted to give you a sense of all this stuff going on.
Okay, we just saw that red and that blue, and some of each of them form Alaska. That was so cool. Red, this is gonna become a part of Alaska. Alaska is like almost like the valve that closes this last little bit that just blocks this path.
And this is more just an animation to play, to give you a sense that the purple is already the material from the Southwest Pacific that's accreted.
Oh shit, did you see that? The flow, so the flow's coming across this way. Let's watch it again. There's like a path through here. This is kind of hanging out.
And this is more just an animation to play, to give you a
It
sense
starts
that
to really like push a wall across to like prevent the flow.
the purple is already the material from the Southwest Pacific that's
To
accreted.
like literally all the way across. Now we got a wall.
The orange is
A wall forms around 120 million years. We start to close off this channel, which looks like it then causes any flow this way to go. Maybe that's when stuff starts going towards Asia through there. Like it adds to a current. Oh, I'm not completely sure. About the current. Sometimes I revisit the concept that it flows out in all directions, where most of it goes this way, but some of it goes this way. Sometimes I revisit that concept and I'm like, am I sure about that? Or could it be that it goes like ultimately comes back this way and flows all the way around in a loop, generally. Because sometimes I run into things that somewhat point in that direction. Like this ammonite here. For instance, there's a current flowing this way. And it even looks like it flows up, in, and around. Although, it also looks like it flows up and in that way. From the puncture hole, it flows up in that way. While from this way, it flows this way. And maybe down this way. It's possible that I've made some pretty major mistakes like that in terms of interpreting the current paths. And I mean, in life, pardon me. Okay. But it's closing, and then boom, that arrow changes direction. Over here, these arrows are this way.
The orange is in part.
It's like this. It's like two currents kind of running into each other. So it probably is going both directions. It went around both directions, probably. And then met itself at around here. Which then ended up producing this wall up here that closed a channel. Which then allowed for this current over on this side to overwhelm this and start to push material that was gathering like in the Tethys Sea region, just kind of in this let's say just this open space, because this didn't really exist that much. Let's go to expanding Earth map. That's not showing the Pacific. Let's put James Maxlow. I feel like that usually brings up, yeah, this one. This one? Pacific. That's South Pacific. Where is the Northern Pacific? I guess there. Doesn't even show it. What? No one wants to mess with that. They're like, also that one. It's just such a chaos.
European material.
And then boom, it's switched, and then it switched back.
In the other lectures this spring.
Oh, it's.
To see what's going on, to tease out all these details.
Oh wait, I wasn't paying attention. Is the balance line moving? Like it's.
170 and 110, not the major emphasis tonight, but included in this lecture. And this is more just an animation to play, to give you a sense that the purple is already the material for...
This flow this way. Let's say this is some kind of balance line here. Maybe across this way.
From the Southwest Pacific that's accreted. The orange is in part our European material.
This region, it's kind of winning. It's pushing, the arrows are very far in down here. And way too Mexico shape. Like, what is going on with that? They even extend to exactly where it would be useful for them to extend to if I had a say in the matter. Let's see. Right there. End of the Central America region that wasn't newly formed.
And we will look at this again.
It's odd.
In the other.
Going under it. While this is going up here. Definitely these two, now they're starting to, instead of going straight on, they're starting to angle more down here. Is that true? Let me even go back again. Here they're pretty straight on. 170, that's pretty straight on. So it's like they go out in both directions and they collide straight on, and then they start to like build up into the North Pole region.
And this is more just an animation to play, to give you a sense that the purple is already the material from the Southwest Pacific that's accreted. The orange is in part our European material, and we will look at this again in the other lectures this spring to see what's going on, to tease out all these details within this animation. Just wanted to give you a sense of all the stuff going on with the immigrants that have arrived. Once they get to us, that's not the end of the journey.
Whoa, wait.
Is in part
Let's watch this balance line. These arrows.
other lectures this spring
Where,
to see what's going on.
whoa, they went up from way down here. They're going this way. What in the? It's like there's a spreading zone here. Okay.
And we will look at this again.
This is going up.
Other
This goes way more up as we approach. 66 million years when the Earth rapidly expanded. When, oh my God, if I cannot straighten this planet out. When the system that was here started to especially produce a jet northward into Baja California, which was over here. That was over here along this boundary. The nose of this structure here. Was literally underneath North America, and then it slid out. So that's what we're kind of looking for in this, like the arrow flows, to see if there's something of that nature happening with like a sudden like Pacific ward motion from North America that kind of overwhelms and opens this space up. I mean, I guess that's just what's gotta happen to a degree. But coupled with a upward energy that's almost like projecting through it all and creating a momentary change in the currents towards more up, more like just up.
lectures this spring.
Like that right there. Like just up. They're just freaking up. And now we're gonna start to accrete like heavily, and the hit and run is happening where this is gonna slide along.
To see what's going on, to tease out all these details within this animation. Just wanted to give you a sense of all the stuff going on with the immigrants that.
And then by around 50 million, that upward thing, this is when like the supernova of the planet is really happening right here. As ridiculous as that sounds.
To see what's going on.
The rapid phase was occurring at 66 million years at the KT boundary. And then the continents broke apart so the oceans could actually form, because up until then the continents were still just held together, and then they break apart and then the oceans form. So that's what's going on here, is this breaking apart the continents and allowing the oceans to form in a rapid supernova phase of this just spontaneous change in the, like, how there's downward flows here.
And this is more just an animation to play, to give you a sense that the purple is
Down, over, up, 127. I don't know exactly the location where I'm. Let's see. It's essentially just east of Fiji. Is like the focal point from which these currents should go upward.
The orange is in part our European.
Which wasn't that far away at the time. It's probably more over here. I'm guessing. Actually, I thought it was literally over here. So it might even be over here then, largely, because this is just assuming the oceans to exist.
And we will look at this again in the other lectures this spring.
Like the same surface area of ocean is considered to always be present, pretty much practically. Something of that nature, where it's got too much data in the Pacific. The Pacific is, like, here it's fine because it's pretty much modeled that they were together, but over here it's modeled that they were not together, but they were together, so it's got all this, like, and the Pacific, so it's got a bunch of data that is not quite, I mean, it's based in evidence, but it's also not actually what's happened. So it's like, needs a lot of translation, like mental translation, without like doing it. So I'm not sure where, like, this may have been occurring more over here. Now we see maybe if I follow that point, that might be a good just like.
Not the major emphasis tonight, but included in this lecture.
Starts over here, 170.
To give you a sense that the purple is already the material from the Southwest Pacific that's accreted. The orange is in part
moving up.
material, and we will look at
It's almost like a balance point.
other lectures this spring.
Oh, and then whoa, what just happened?
Pacific that's accreted.
This,
The orange is in part our European material, and we will look at this again in the other lectures this spring.
from around 85 to 80 million, it jumped back, like it wobbled. Like the balance point just was like, it sprung back, but then it kept going.
To see what's going on, to tease out all these details within this animation. Just wanted to give you a sense of all the stuff going on.
It's like dendrites.
Once they get to us, that's not the end of the journey.
It's like dendrites going out and just pushing the material into mounds together, and then just like there, You stay together.
And plotting the position of North America compared to plotting the location of this material coming in, that also has been carefully worked out by other means, which we will again explore in the next few lectures this spring. Thanks to the
Okay, so Cambodia. Alaska was like 3 separate terrains. Cambodia. No Precambrian, but the gneiss and schist of the Proterozoic Quantum Massif Vietnam extend into the northeast of the country from Vietnam. Proterozoic. Quantum Massif. Early Paleozoic. However, your much younger ages imply at least 2 Paleozoic thermal events. Unclear. High-grade metamorphic rocks that may be from the Precambrian are also found at Palin in the west. Okay, so like Precambrian stuff could have been brought there and been like nuclei for which things to accrete to or to build from and so on. Some rock sequences without fossils have been mapped as Cambrian and Silurian rocks because they underlie younger Paleozoic rocks. Intensely deformed without fossils. Silurian. So, okay. Intensely deformed. In that same time frame, actually, as Scotland and those European pieces were going to British Columbia, or to accrete along western North America somewhere. Maybe not exactly British Columbia entirely. A low-grade metamorphism are most common in southern Cambodia. Quartzite is interbedded with rhyolite, quartz, tourmaline, schist, sericite schist, and chlorite schist. Some true mica schist is also found along with sillimanite, but the grade of metamorphism tends to be low. Okay. Only one fossil in Cambodia is known from the Cambrian trilobite. The fossil was housed in a black sandy argillite. Most exposures, blah 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 blah. Extensive Permian limestone rocks are found in the west and south, containing coral and brachiopod fossils. Helped to establish the age of the limestone, which is sometimes interbedded with clastic rocks. There is extensive karst landscape with many caves underlying much of Cambodia. Just thinking. That just makes me think of Florida, Mexico. These places where currents are flowing under, but were protruding out like peninsulas. Relatively speaking. Like, it's not as thick here as it is here, so it's kind of still a peninsula in terms of like relative to the undercurrent. Like, I guess this whole thing is a peninsula kind of relative to the undercurrent. But like, it's still thicker there, so there's more material, presumably. It may just be more gaps, I guess, like karst. Triassic rocks are very common. Did I say Triassic? I don't know. 252. Marine conditions returned. Okay, wait. Although they do not contain many fossils. Marine Triassic rocks are well documented near Robiang in the north. Triassic rocks include shale sandstone conglomerates and some fragments of volcanic rocks. Indonesian orogeny in the Triassic affected the region with some moderate folding. I tried to find a magnetic anomaly map for Laos. There wasn't one, I don't think. My feet. Holy shiz. As far as dinosaurs go, there have been no findings in Cambodia. However, it's not unlikely that they lived there. During the Jurassic, marine conditions returned. A fossil ammonite was found at one location in eastern Cambodia. Numerous beds of rock with ammonite fossils. Some valley. Recording deep water sediments near the Vietnamese border by the Middle Jurassic. That just made me realize the importance of water in creating these fossils. The closing of the tethys, participating in creating shallograms. The presence of water here in Texas, places where there's ammonites, a lot of times, like England. I don't know if it, let's see. I guess they're considered sea animals, so that's like why. But it just suggests to me that water is actually a necessary element in the spiral formation of a current. So it's like it is part of the current flow is water that's inducing ammonite shapes by spiraling in eddies and like materializing a shell out of the particles within the water flow by the current that then becomes shaped and orderly, but intense enough to do that, and containing enough materials to do that. Continental conditions where the norm and thick sequence of sandstone and conglomerate formed during the Cretaceous comprise much of the Cardamom Mountains in the southwest and can be up to 1 to 2 kilometers thick. Sometimes these rocks also contain plant and pollen remains. Plant and pollen remains. When I hear pollen, I'm like, what do you guys call them pollen? That shit's so tiny, you just probably see some irregularities at pollen here. Let's see, pardon me guys. Pardon me, actually, individual. It's probably more than one person, but... Can't see. Okay. Very few Cenozoic rocks in Cambodia after the supernova. quite a bit of evidence from the Quaternary, like the end of the process, in the floodplains and valleys where terraces in the sediment are common, like a late flood to cool the earth off. I'm just thinking of this, like, water up here that went down this way and flooded this way, maybe, causing whatever it's talking about with the quaternary. Quaternary. What? What did you say? What did you say? Okay. So, okay. So that's useful. Cambodia, I would wonder if this, I really wonder if, like, this is the boundary. We can really see maybe like little ripples across it. Not like a straight line, but like little, at least where it's detectable. And then here going across here, maybe? I guess that goes right through there. Because then that would, I guess it wouldn't be a coastal thing. Where would that be? Maybe that would be down here. That was a thought. That was a thought. In the same way as Australia, and those look kind of like, wow, they, are you sure about that? Not this one, the other one. This one. The way they like were, they are like this way, and they were wrapping around. Like, that's a lot of wrapping around. Is it possible that the tip of India was generally over to like right there? That's why I was trying to pull up an expanding Earth. I believe in you. Let's say north, south. South. India, East Antarctica. The thing is, they're putting Southeast Asia in there. Like right here at 485. Cambodia didn't even really exist then, it seemed like. There's definitely too much terrain. I just wonder if it could zip up that much. Zip. That might be too unreasonable. Like on this side, I feel like it was basically to here, generally. Does it map that one? Oops. had this wrong picture for one of them, I guess. But it basically folds this much. So it could have folded the same amounts. So maybe to like down here. Wonder if there's any evidence this was here. Like turned or something, even. I don't know. Probably not. Looks too continuous, really. Also, I think there's like a myth. There's a bridge here built by someone, Krishna, and his monkeys, something. Whoa. It's kind of just water. There's a temple. Oh my god, there's like frickin' temples out here. What the? Ain't no temple out there. What is this? What is happening? Pardon me, sir. Pardon me, pardon me. That don't seem quite right. Maybe they're just not the right location. That looks more like the right location. Whoa. That scared the shit out of me. I don't know what to make of that. Looks like a seashell. But why? What's so important? Looks also kind of like, what's it called? The basalt. Devil's Tower. Like, what the? Whoa. Is that a floating rock? I think I need to just call it quits at this for life. I could do this forever. Truly, until I die, and then I can, but at least for a while. Holy fuck. Just like, I'm just sitting here like, there's another hour, 15 minutes right now. Just about. And, what's gonna change? Nothing. Except my fucking health. where I did this instead. My stress and bank account just worse and worse. Oh my god. I don't even know how little money I have because I've just ignored looking at it. I know I got insufficient funds to transfer to my other account, that message. Oh my god, I'm fucked. Like, I need to, like, do something. Like, I almost need to be like, dudes, I quit unless you guys want to, like, support me. Like, maybe not, like, financially, but, like, somehow, some way, see to it that I continue doing this, because I cannot. I'm fucking, like, on my deathbed, dudes. It's bad. It's not good. I've been trying to help my booty. It's actually not been the worst thing I've tried. I got this stuff like a year ago, 2 years even, and it just looks so fucking nasty. I was like, I don't even want to. This shit ain't gonna work. I mean, it's better than nothing else. I'll give it that. That's for sure. And possibly a fucking miracle. I don't know. At least externally. Internally, a whole nother fucking question. I don't know. But like, I'm feeling pains in my legs when I was like, oh, what is wrong with me? It's like some fucking weird pain. I've never felt this shit. Oh, you just getting up? You sure, dudes? People don't know what I feel. Oh my god. I mean, concerning. And I have no money. How the fuck do I go to work when I'm like fucking. Anyway, I don't want to like complain, but I feel like it's useful to like express things, like be real in a fucking world of lies. Oh! Like the way we pander. It's like the world is filled with people willing to pander so they get like the help. That's what happens. People willing to do like to pander, to like compromise, to not just be themselves, but be like, I don't really see your perspective. You haven't persuaded me, but I'm gonna do this anyway. Dot, 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 dot. Because they know like that's what works. That's why they do it. Not because they're like being honest. That's the problem. It's a bunch of fucking people stroking people off for like for likes for that's everyone's attention whoring. Like, dudes, I actually need it like for other reasons than me fucking me's out there who also want attention, but for like less important reasons maybe. Although, is this really important? I don't know. I guess in the end it could be as unimportant and wrong as everything else that ever came to be an idea about the nature of reality. And therefore not really something that the world should be put through. But at the same time, like, the shit we're getting put through, like, needs truth to be, like, stiff arm the fuck out of the shit that's happening. That just keeps happening. That's just fucking ridiculous. Because people are indoctrinating people with just straight propaganda from a young age. Which maybe I'm doing. Like, you're not maybe you're God conscious yourself, so you're immune to me, but maybe you're not. And so therefore you're at a young age and being indoctrinated in some way, even if you're 50 or 80, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, it plays in my benefit that you think that you're not susceptible if I'm trying to, but really I'm just trying to share some information that, like, it wasn't like beforehand I needed attention. It was just in the same way, like, of course, as a human being, I need attention, but like, also from myself, but also from like the world at large. Like, unless I have like somewhere I can truly live self-sustaining without humans around, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, we need each other, so like it's not really unreasonable to need others. It's just when we're fucking, like, what are we doing? Oh my god, the fucking noise right now, where I have no money in spite of the discoveries I've made in a world that knows of people like, Tesla was broke when he died. There, living in a hotel with no money. Wouldn't it be great if he wasn't like that? Let's focus on Tesla while this dude dies in the same way. Just repeat the same shit. It's not like I matter so much as like my capacity to influence society readily matters. Like, it could be overnight. I don't think, unless there's someone out there that can like just heal people straight up vibrationally, touch them and be so sound of body that their vibration is just like stillness, and they just instill this like calm vibrational energy into them by just touch, like lay on hands, like an animal, like, ah. So like an animal say, ah, what are you doing, what are you doing, and then you pet it, it's like, oh, okay, okay, alright, that's not bad, that's not bad, that's not bad, oh, right, yeah. But like before then, they're like, ah. If it don't know you, like this bird I tried to help, it's like, ah. I'm like, dude, you got fucking thing. You can't fly. You keep flying in the fence. I know you think I'm gonna eat you. Just trying to get that shit off your beak. Why are you eating a rag? A rag? Oh my god. You don't know that rag is not food? Fuck, dude. It's not like apparent that it's something else, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, but then I like pet it, and it was just like this wild, big ass wild bird. I touched it, and it was like, all right, you can deal with this problem now of this fucking thing attached to my beak. Same thing though, where maybe like enough resonance can just straight up be like, sup, dude? Oh, I'm just like hell, healed. Boom. Then like, okay, then that person should probably get some like spotlight on distributing information to the general public that would be in the best interest of the general public, but although maybe they don't even want to, maybe they're even more aware of things beyond that, where it's like, well, that's not really how this needs to go. This needs to go the other way, where like people don't know. And, like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, you think I was free, bruh? What, you think that's free? I absorb that shit, then I heal it because I'm a boss, bruh. You fucking punk ass got all these dealing with all these fucking problems. I'll just take it and deal with it. Like, gone. That's how I heal your punk ass. You think I want to do that for everyone? That's a pain in the ass, dude. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Pretty sure that's how it works. So it's just someone can be probably so resonant that they're not influenced by other people. That really looks like a nice little spiral. Right over this region too. And over the Great Lakes. Interesting. I don't know what time this was. I assume these clouds are somewhat real clouds that were just put in there. And not just like completely made up clouds. Like they must be just clouds that were there one day. Anyway. But yeah, I'm like I'm totally fucked. So I probably should just quit. Like, I really think that might be the best route to get actual support is to be like, I was thinking about making a video where I'm just like, try to actually for once in my life talk to the camera and just do it the whole video. And it's like, dude, it's like, but I just can't, like, I don't want to ask for help. That's the reason. Like, I just feel like it's rude in some way. But I need it. It's just not financially. Also financially, just not. Holy shit, I just noticed this. This line through the mouth. Through what I believe was Newport. It was around here, maybe. It was around here. I was putting it generally across from here. But anyway, this point goes across here, and then across here, through the center of this like circular region of the Idaho batholith region, and then across to, I think this is the base of Yellowstone. I don't think this is quite Yellowstone technically down here. I think Yellowstone is more here with some boundaries maybe to here. I'm not exactly sure. And maybe this is like Grand Tetons or something. I think Grand Tetons are Grand Teton National Park. Yeah. Oh shit, I got it. I didn't even know. I don't know what this is though. Okay, so Grand Teton's that one. What are you? Okay, Wyoming's that one. Atlantic City. Oh. Yeah, that line though goes across here, and then even it looks like it continues somewhat across to the base here, and then across here. Across here, I think it was this way, generally. Where's Bighorn for reference? Okay. Below Bighorn, here's Bighorn, below it. Here's Bighorn, so below it, maybe here. So across here, I don't see it so much in this. Maybe across here. Maybe across there. Into there. I'm not sure if that's This angle's a little off. It's just a little off. And then this one down this way somewhat points to the base here. Somewhat. While maybe having a overall across the mouth, across the middle here through this mouth, from that to here, from there to here maybe ish, some kind of parallel where then over here is also in here, and then this whole stretch out this way. So like across here, here, here. Let's see. Let's check this one out. Right here. So we got a current coming over top this current. There's a current going this way, and a current going atop it here. Which is all the way over here. A current going atop it here, atop it. Which then maybe went straight across and then into here before this region opened. And then across through it as this current from the mantle puncture hole across into here and then straight into here, just feeding into this region until it blew pretty much and created space, just filled the space that wasn't quite as occupied as it could be because that the way the ocean had prevented flow across, so like this side maybe didn't get quite as filled as the other side, and there was just a low pressure region maybe. Like it even is kind of in the heart of the fist. Like it's like a Hamsa hand, but in a fist with like a eyeball type thing. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do though. Like I think I need to quit because this is getting me nowhere. I'm fucking dying, dudes. It's getting us somewhere, but that's, you know, that's my price to pay. Like, I don't take care of myself. I'm just so focused on this. It would be so different if I just quit and utterly focused on myself somehow. I feel like that might even do it. Like, suddenly I'll just be like, oh, that's like the nature of reality, and that's what you need to do anyway. It's not like some me thing where it's like, oh, what was me? That's just how it goes. And it took me that long to realize, and here, let me transmit that information to you so you can, like, accept it faster and, like, realize the truth. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, maybe. Because, like, see all the evidence Look at how ridiculously persuasive my research is, and look at how no one listened until I gave up trying and focused on myself. That would be a very persuasive argument to people who actually saw the merits of my work, that it did take me changing my way of life to really change the outcomes of my life for the better, to then actually be able to transmit this information to you guys, because it's that important that even my lazy ass who hasn't traditionally taken care of himself because, I'll deal with that later. Is willing, maybe, to somehow get out of his accepted deathbed, practically. I don't want to say it like in some whoa kind of way, but I just literally accepted I was dying at some point. I don't know if I am. I just accepted it. Like the symptoms I was having, they're not really happening anymore. And I was like, they're coming in waves. Like, even though they're gone, they're gonna come back. But it's been a while, like a couple of weeks, since it was very like concerning, and it's kind of moved more to the back of my head where I'm like, maybe I'm okay, and just need to like start to take care of myself. But for a while there, I was just like, how am I gonna fucking do that? How am I gonna do that? I mean, maybe even now, if I really try, I'm gonna feel that way. How the fuck am I gonna do that? My body is in shambles. It's like muscle atrophy all over. No, like I practically need physical therapy. More just like to stop doing what I'm doing entirely and just spend an indefinite amount of time not doing this. Even though it's that important, literally, it's not that important because no one cares. Very few people care. Part of me, people who care, it's just, as you probably can understand, like, my circumstances are fucking dire. Like, if you just see how much time I spend doing presumably nothing. 293 subscribers. 9 years of doing videos that are just like novel concepts disregarded to the point of like literally I'm out of everything and I've got nothing more to give to this. Like, how sad is that? 9 fucking years. That's like 30 people a year. I'm fucking doing this daily. Like, this is what I have been doing. Maybe I'm an arrogant asshole about it, but there's lots of arrogant assholes. And this is science. Like, fuck, guys. I mean, I guess I've just been that much of an arrogant asshole. I just gotta look at it like that. I've just been a fucking arrogant asshole. What would you do if you found the truth and no one else knew that you knew of? You'd probably be an arrogant asshole, right? Oh, come on, guys. You're so stupid. Not that I talk like that necessarily. Although maybe since I'm banging my elbow, maybe that's a little too close to home. I don't actually feel that way, but I probably feel that way in some level that resonates and is like sensing, like able to be sensed because of my just like arrogance, excitement, youth, it's just ignorance, like things that are not necessarily, like, there's ways to understand me and how my behavior and not be mad about it and like not recognize the value in listening to me, but because people just don't understand me, they just won't listen. And so 9 years, or support me really, like, I don't know how many people I know directly and have met in person that are in this list. It's not many. It just shows people don't fucking care because I'm an asshole. It really doesn't fucking matter how groundbreaking my research is. It's like a punishment. You stop being an asshole. I'm like, dudes. Like, are you guys gonna just, like, let me talk forever and then die and then come mine the information later and act like that's justice? Is that justice? So I think the best move for me is just to stop. Like, it's time. It's fucking time. It's past time. These last videos are probably past time. I could do these. I could finish them. I really feel like I should finish them, but at the same time, like, I ain't got fucking energy to give to some long drawn out bullshit that was fucking put in front of my face after I showed my Dwarka video to Randall Carlson. I ain't got time for this shit. I know what happened. I know he's like, alright, I guess it's time. Influence this into being and then fucking carrot on a stick for months and it finally comes out and it's just as, like, slow going to the information as possible. And maybe there's validity to it, but, like, I watched 11 parts and I don't see really much of any science. If anything, references to Tesla, that vortex generator was interesting, but that was 1930s. I mean, it's nice that it kind of comes up again and that I wasn't aware of it. That might even be something that's, like, taught in engineering school. Like, I might have learned that in college. It feels like something that's just kind of in, like, heat and mass transfer kind of principles that are being taught that, oh, and then, like, in these circumstances this can happen. Isn't that interesting? I don't know though. At that time I wasn't thinking about it from the same angle, so it wouldn't even have, it would have been like this. So I totally forgot about it. So it's nice that I am aware that, like, if current goes this way, runs into a structure through an inlet and then runs into resistance, but then has channels that can go within the chamber that it's entered through the inlet, that it can then be separated into, like, hot and cold flows. That aspect I feel like is what resonates as something that I've recall from school. So long ago, I was probably like 19. Not pretty much half my life ago. Half my life ago. But, like, dudes, I'm killing myself 8 hours, 22 hours a day, 2 days, 3 days, 3 days, 4 days, 4 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 6 days, 11, 12, 13. I mean, certainly some of these are more spaced out, but, like, $50 videos in a month since February 26th, 50 videos. And they're all fucking an hour on average. It's probably an hour on average for my videos, I'd say. Some of them are short enough that the 2-hour type ones can just kind of make up for the short ones, but, like, it's pretty much an hour on average of, like, not useless information, but like it takes my focus, it takes my thoughts, it takes my everything to do this. November, that's 150 through November's 27th. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. I'm just like, is that 5? Is that 5 or 6? 1, 2. So that's pretty much a video a day for 5 months. And then another 50 videos. Point being, I'm fucking spamming this shit to no avail. I mean, since I started doing this, I probably, let's see. Let's actually look at this. Lifetime. This is Dwarka. So pretty much since I released my Dwarka video, it's almost like no change. Almost no change compared to at least like from around when I wrote my book. It's about when I wrote my book and made As It's Written in the Cosmos videos. Like it's as if I'm just muted by servers or something. Like, this is too important to fucking have my attitude or my demeanor, whatever the fuck people want to judge me for. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Like, I can't even get all my videos on Odyssey. And if my YouTube gets banned, almost all my content's gone. Because they're all over a half hour. And the other website, Odyssey, which is cool, they allow me to just transfer my videos, but you need 1,000 subscribers, which, you know, that's not that many. But as sad as that is, I don't fucking got it, dudes. It's like I don't fucking matter. He's a white male American. He can fucking do it for himself. That's what people think. Yup. Everyone's so fucking busy being lost in bullshit propaganda, they don't even realize there's some dude just fucking rewriting history right in the mist and they don't even fucking know. It's probably apt that this video be something fist related. Like, I just want to punch the system. Like, it would be so cool to, like, figure out how to have some kind of energetic protection and have some people get, like, pissed off at me. Let's say how I envision with all the fucking no offense, but it's a fact of the matter. All the gangs of people jumping individuals based on color. It would be cool if I managed, although maybe I shouldn't say this because I might piss people off and not manage to do anything, but it would be cool if I could just have, like, reasoned through how to be like energetically protected. So if someone like tried to jump me in some group setting, I could just react and just like turn their minds to like, dude's a boss. What the fuck? How the fuck did you do that? Yo, did you see this? Just straight up on a dime, they go from like wanting to attack to like, what in the fuck did this motherfucker just do right there, dude? That was did you even do that? But it seems like it, like doing some fucking Matrix shit, maybe, I don't know. Learning some like new Tai Chi thing, this old Tai Chi thing. I don't know. Like some way to bring the people together. Like, you know, I'm cool with. I see you guys doing some shit. It's not cool though. Like, yeah, that's for sure. Like, holy fuck, dudes. I don't want to like be that white dude talking about. Oh, you're not allowed to talk about race. This video though is not good, dudes. Chicago. Like, is that enough? Oh. Chicago is just fucking up. Like, just look at Chicago and understand the, like, yeah, this right here is literally a fucking single white woman. And then it says, yay, we get active. Like, dudes. Dudes. I'm like, how do we stop this? This behavior that has been encouraged by lying propagandists that are basically turning everyone against each other and making everyone hate each other. I mean, that's pretty much what they're doing, as the system is doing. And then, like, I would like to defend everyone. This is fucking ridiculous. Like, it needs to stop. So it's like there aren't indefensible acts being committed. Like, that's what this is fucking indefensible. And there's shit like this happening too much. I know, like, this is not most, I don't want to say make it like white, black, whatever skin color, because I'm not really, like, when I think in white terms, I'm not really white. That's kind of bullshit. That's a part of the problem, is like we're not even the same. Like, white people are not all the same, black people are not all the same in terms of like nuances of their being. Like, we're as different as white and black within whites and blacks. So like, it's almost ridiculous. At some point, we're all just individuals, and like, all the skin color shit is just like a distraction to create problems, because that's how propaganda is done. They're like, okay, we gotta get people to focus on certain things other than the actual faults of it all, which is this fucking system of theft that's behind it. that's lying. It's taking our money, using it to lie to people, and then just gathering an army to enforce the system on everyone. And then it begins to teach everyone what to think and teaches young children that white people are inherently racist and black people are inherently oppressed. And then shit like this happens because these kids don't fucking know any better. They're like, yeah, especially when their circumstances are not so good. They're like, fuck yeah, that's right. I don't give a fuck about these. I don't give a fuck. When that's the attitude, like, what the fuck is the solution to that? I mean, you read through these comments. Read through these comments and see what the people say the solution is. This guy apparently says the solution is just separate, segregate, get away, which is kind of like, dudes, like, we have a fucking problem. Do you understand how big of a problem this type of shit is becoming right now? Like, it needs addressed, not ignored, and not, like, ran from. Like, we need to fucking talk about this shit. The like, Walmart's closing their stores. Like, dude, you gotta understand. I know. It's awesome to just be like, boom, I got a bunch of shit. I didn't have to pay for it. I just took it. Boom. That was easy. Just boom. They didn't even stop me. I just did it right in front of their fucking faces. Walked in, stuffed this bag, threw it over my shoulder, stuffed another bag, threw it over the other shoulder, pulled a cart over, filled that shit, and walked the fuck out. Threw it in the car, drove off, no fucks. Because there were 30 of us doing the same fucking thing. What happens now? There's no, like, few years go by and then, like, the stores are gone. There's no one to rob except your neighbors. Like, what if, like, and then what? Then there's no one to rob. And then it, like, finally occurs. Like, maybe that wasn't the best idea either. Sure, in the short term, there were some benefits. We got to sell all that shit on eBay, make some money, and then just turn it into a job. We're making $60K a week. Getting our reparations. We getting them. We're just taking them. Because that's how it should happen. Balance should be achieved by just taking it. I mean, from the nearest by source, not the actual one. It's like, imagine there's this thief who steals everything, and then there's this other, like, smaller thief, like, entities that are under the thief's umbrella, and so, like, it's kind of like taking out, like, a peon of a store is like a peon next to the system that, like, dictates to these companies how to behave and that they owe the system money to. You don't get to not pay too. We said you were a living entity. You're a human being, company, yeah. Because we're not alive, you're not alive. We can agree that you're alive. It makes perfect sense. Because we're fucking mindlessly doing things. Anyway, I'm not finding the comments, but it's pretty much shoot them, bring guns. Like, people are just saying fucking be strapped. Like, that's people's reaction. I'd say strapped here is probably better than strapped at the waist. But, like, people are gonna fucking start caring, and then it's just a matter of time before this shit like this turns into a fucking pop. Like, there's this fucking video I saw. I don't want to turn into like just me bashing on a race. I'm sorry, guys. I'm an idiot to even like focus. But it's just like the scale, dude. Is like, this is a older lady. I don't know how old she is, but she's at least a woman, like an adult. Just an adult white lady. Adult white lady who is trying to get into some, like, to not be in the situation she's in, and they just fucking jump her. And then there's this another video. Woman slammed. Maybe. That might do it. Maybe not. I don't know how to find it. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe not him, but someone might have it. Benadryl challenge. Oh my god. Point is this woman walking down the street, literally not looking, like just trying to get the fuck away, and the like us, like, same situation, and a group, not just it's not a fair fight. It's a fucking 1v20 thing where a fucking group, like, then they're being bitches, dudes. Aren't you guys bosses, not bitches? Like, that's how I feel. Fly ass motherfuckers. I'm a little jealous. You guys are fly as fuck. But then you're being bitches here. And there, at least 1v1 straight the fuck up, and don't do it like behind their back, like walking and then fucking punching the side of the head, and then once one of them does it, oh shit, and then of course they're recording, encouraging it, like, get her. And then literally the video, she gets like punched in the face, kicked and shit, and she gets up and just keeps walking. I would be fucking like, I would start walking and then I'd fucking bolt it, cause fuck that shit. I see what you motherfuckers doing right there. But she doesn't do that. She tries to play like, okay, that you're not gonna do anything else. Dude, not fucking female. The first one was a female. Dude walks up, grabs her by the waist, and slams her on the fucking ground. Like a fucking power drive, like straight up. And she was probably 50s. I'm like, utter fucking abomination of behavior from children. I mean, they're probably like 18 years old usually, like, then at most in their 20s, doing fucking stupid shit that is about to spark some shit. Not gonna fucking lie. Although maybe me talking about it is not helping either, but like, we gotta address it. And I don't want to make it race specific. I'm obviously making it race specific. It's rude. It's maybe partially because I'm white and feel targeted, but maybe that's just how life is for black people. And good to see what it's like. Like I feel like I am not safe to walk the streets of Chicago. That's for damn sure. Although, or anywhere where like that kind of shit's going on in mass, like cities are getting pretty just straight robbery, Wild West kind of shit. Too expensive, so people just resort to theft. Lots of money there because there's lots of expensive living. Assuming the city is still alive and hasn't just become like a cesspool of deteriorating, unsupported communities that are maybe fucking shit like Chicago. Like, Chicago's fallen into the abyss, it seems. Probably related to Obama, honestly. He is one lying ass motherfucker. Totally used his race, like, for gain. Like, not just being like, like, it would be nice if it wasn't for his personal gain. Like, he sold that side of things, so he got away with just being a fucking lying brilliant man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He is, and like, if you place him next to Obama or Biden, sorry, or Bush, let's say George Bush Jr., like, intellectually, dude can walk circles around him in like a conversational way and sound like he's like truly a man of the people to at first glance, and like he's kind of like a man of reason, but he's just straight lying to people's fucking faces. Straight lying, dudes. See how they get lie? Like, they want to lie and they can't lie, like the system itself. And so the course of action to like manage to pull off the things that we oh so much need to do is to get someone willing to do the dirty work. And so, like, they rode his physical traits and characters to the like furthest possible degree that they could to just garner to gain that garnish that support that they just needed in order to get away with the bullshit. But that shit gets supported. That's the sad thing. That's why I'm like, what in the fuck, dudes? Literally millions of dollars donated to fucking politicians every time so they can, print signs and say vote for me all over the place. Like, what are we fucking doing? Support that shit over as people doing work? What are we fucking doing? Yeah, maybe it's not work traditionally. That's the problem, is it's not traditional work. So I don't, like, there's no way for me to get paid for this directly unless I have people listening and monetize, which then leads to me having to be like speech controlled, which is bullshit. So I just don't say fuck you guys, I'm not monetized. Don't put ads on my videos, although they do anyway, which is kind of reasonable considering how much data I have on their servers. But what am I talking about? I'm just kind of rambling. This is an interesting developing story. It's going to have long-reaching influence on the discussion in that regard. It's going to definitely be a topic of discussion or a point of discussion for the topic. Their concern has been addressed. I fucking love Elon, honestly. Elon, I hope you're, that would be cool. Not fucking one of them. Does it really say 69%? Oh, now let's troll. Now they fucking trolling them. Oh my god, that's so fucking good. Their posts all say 69%. Oh, there it is. Not the retweets, but their posts. Holy shit, it's fucking brilliant. I gotta say. Did he update it to 69? They're less than 70%. I'm sorry to talk about race. I really hate to be. I feel like I need to not. And just leave it to people closer to the matters, if you will. Focus on maybe people more of my skin color and their actions. And just kind of hope we all collectively understand. But that's like, what am I doing though? That's like what racism is in some way, is to like divide. Be like, I'll talk to white people. Wakanda to rise, I guess. That's fucking hilarious. I gotta retweet. Alright, guys. Sorry about the rudeness. Just concerned, concerned citizen, that's all. Like, that was a woman. Like, I can't. I've never seen a single woman be attacked by a large group of people. And I've seen that multiple times now in like 2 days, because maybe the accounts I follow are maybe or not even follow. I just have like they come up in my list. Even I'm not even sure if I follow. And although that person DC, I think I might follow him. I don't know. But he shows up in my list, and I generally like his posts, but he definitely, I don't want to be an ass. Has there's a couple people who I see a lot of like comments against them that are like, stop posting this types of videos, blah blah blah. Like, Stu Peters, I think, is the other one. Stu Peters. That I've noticed getting comments like that. But I mean, like, it's important to fucking know what's happening. Like, it's a video of some shit that happened. So this is pretty standard how we would post about things, describing it. But like, what in the fuck? Stomp this old man's windshield in Chicago. Okay, that video is just too out of place, but certainly some of them have more information in the video. I'm just wondering if he has that. He must have that video, dude. This is the type of shit. See, like, okay, This is actually kind of funny, but at the same time, like, I don't even want pedophiles to be like viewed that way. I mean, honestly, it's all just the same thing as everything else. Like, basically, misactions, poor choices, things that are not reasonable that society hasn't like pressured them out of doing, and because of their circumstances, like most of them are in powerful positions and then had access and were offered, and probably not that stable of mind to like be like, free ass? Nah, I'm good. Young ass? Well, how young? And then just fucking dropping down the ladder. And then next thing you know, we got Jeffrey Epstein type stuff. Honestly, though, but like, at some point, we should be able to just be like, dudes, let's stop even. We need to stop teaching sex. Not like just not worry about it. It's not a topic of discussion in the general public. Yeah, amongst the people they can talk about it, but we don't need like the collective like voice of like media and government and education system being like, this is how sex works. Young people that are just new to the world. Is your penis hard, young man? Well, you can touch it. Doesn't it feel great? Well, there might be consequences later in life, but you won't notice yet. It's perfectly normal. Oh, it's perfectly normal. It's perfectly normal. It's perfectly normal. It's perfectly normal. It's like, maybe we should just like be like dogs, you know, like they don't fucking know about sex. They just hump at some point. Sure, they hump a lot of things, but we're humans who can like talk. Like, oh yeah, sex. That's what that is. That's what's going on. There's this thing called sex. Now that you're, behaving in a way that's initiating the conversation rather than just showing up one day. Hello, I'm here. Hello, welcome to class. This is sexual. I'm Dr. Joe Smith, and this is your sexual education class, and we're gonna talk about the vagina. It's like, dude, what are we doing? I mean, anyway. Leads to things like that. That's what I'm saying. If we just focused on like geology, the earth, sciences, things that are interesting, just interesting things. Sex isn't like taught for the purpose of interesting things. It's taught for, you should know this because you're gonna one day be an adult. You're about to be an adult. We've all agreed at the age of 18 you will be an adult and subject to the rules that we're all subject to, even though none of us agree to them. I know the world makes no sense, young man, but your penis could be hard if you touched it. Let me show you the female anatomy. Oh, and then in the day of internet porn, like, oh dear lord, we're doomed. That's another thing, like child porn. You never know with child porn when it's, oh, someone arrested for child porn. Like, maybe they had it knowingly. Like, is it the like aspect of them knowingly having it, and like intending that it be like, I need it to be children, versus like going through some porn and like there's some like young person like put in on purpose, even maybe like, oh, people frequent this website and this person frequents this website, so we'll just put some young unknowingly, like, and then like find it on their computer. Like, there's no like way of knowing the full scope of what's occurring with like child porn. So but it's got that same thing going on where people just inherently are just like, no, you're a horrible human being. Inherently, even though the government is not trustworthy at all, like maybe we should like figure out what exactly happened in circumstances. Yeah, maybe if someone's just like out picking up kids, kidnapping them, and raping them to death and then burying them in their backyard until they move and whatever, etc. And then, like that kind of thing. Yeah, that's different than someone like. It's a whole scope of potential. That's my point. Not to sound like I'm defended. People like, oh, I see. Are you into? It's like, dude, I'm just a human. I'm not saying anything about me. I'm just saying as a human, like, I don't think other human beings should be treated any different than anyone else. So, like, the concept of like jail and punishment and things of that nature, I prefer the concept of persuasion and like reason and actually successfully persuading and reasoning people to action that maybe they didn't initially feel was the appropriate path in their lives, but over the course of time of considering, it would be nice to live in utopia. Maybe I don't need all these, whatever it is I'm doing, let's say, like, and what, it doesn't matter. Anything that's, what in the fuck? Oh my god. I mean, it kind of makes sense in a world that's so disastrous that people have terrible illnesses that are really unbearable and their lives are misery incarnate. I mean, it kind of makes sense that at least children have, as sad as that is, like a escape route that's maybe somewhat humane. I know it's ridiculous. It just opens the door to too many other things. That's the problem. Is it shouldn't be legal. It shouldn't be illegal either. It should just be like genuinely we try our best that no one fucking does that type of shit or needs to, and maybe we figure out a way to heal each other where like children that like that would be a good motivation to figure out how to resonate, lay on hands a child and then just heal them, and then they don't have to do that. So like if we could focus on things like that rather than like the solution is just legalizing, like we got a lot of people anyway, so we might as well just make it easier to kill yourself. Would anyone like to kill themselves? Oh, Canada. I know you guys got a problem with that. Real headline. Okay, well, see, like, I know this. I'm looking at his post now, and I'm realizing he posts other things. It's just he posts shit that it's just inherently a problem to post things that are crossing certain lines because we've been like taught this story that makes it like we're different. Even like language, like the N word. Like what? Like why is it like fucking every sentence, and then we can't say it? You don't even know what that does to a white man like me. You don't know what that does to me. You have no fucking clue what that does to me. I won't even explain it to you, but you have no fucking clue. If it just wasn't that way. But I mean, if it wasn't a thing, it was kind of like I watched today history. I watched a bunch of this dude's videos. Starting with 5 white people versus 1 secret black person. This was actually fucking hilarious. Hello, but they were like whitey. I mean, they were certainly a little racist against whites. And I'm racist against blacks in my own way. And we're all literally racist against one another in that we don't like interact equally with people like further from ourselves. So like obviously our skin color isn't like randomly assigned at birth. Like it's a function of our environment, of like our parents and then their parents and their family in general. And so like we just by our nature are going to be in environments that are different, like not just parents and self, but like entirely an environment different, to a point where we have different cultures and different understandings and ways of seeing things. And then when you put it in a world that has this fucking just the education system that teaches a story rather than just being like, let's get balanced, dudes. Can we balance this situation? Rather than that, they just teach. Oh, there was they were taken as slaves and then oppressed and then still oppressed. It's like, dudes, are we gonna do something about that, or just wait until the fucking government is no longer? I mean, that's probably when we finally do something. Here's some money that is worth nothing because it's paper, and actually, hilariously, was disadvantageous to society to even bother printing because it was more trees and all this shit we had to do. This energy wasted. We could have just given you something else, but instead we gave you this valueless money. Here, that's when it'll finally be reparation time. I watched so many of his videos on it. Very good videos. Very good videos. This. Okay. Okay. I'm just going on and on. 2.5 hours. This one. Holy shit. Is this where I bid you guys adieu? Probably not. Soon. Maybe. No, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. I was thinking some kind of check mark. Almost like a running tally of either subscribers. Something that I need to like succeed. That's just something I say in my videos. I don't expect it to happen. Especially if the thing is, if I stop putting out videos, it like makes it that much worse. It's like, as long as I'm the only one actively putting energy into what I'm doing directly, besides my parents who just support me and therefore do so at this point, since I threw my poor ass on them. Hi, I burned through all of my life savings and house savings, all the things. I quit my job. Here I am. Here I am indefinitely for the next 5 years, thinking that sooner or later this shit's gonna work out, and now I'm in poor health and dying in a corner. Fuck. Yeah, I honestly think, though, I need to just take a break. Anyone who cares, I don't want to say some break until and make it some kind of stipulation to try to encourage things. I really don't want to be manipulative in that way. I don't know. I just don't know what to do. I'm just doomed. think I just need to quit this, focus on myself, get a job, and just walk away from this entirely. And maybe one day it comes back up, and then people start asking me questions. I'm like, you want me to remember shit? Guess what? I don't have to, because I decided to forget about that shit. You don't know how my memory works. It's all gone now. That was like 5 years ago, dude. Good luck getting me to remember that shit. Sure, I can watch the videos and kind of remember, but like the nuances, like I don't really remember like my book, even my relatively speaking, like the topics. I certainly don't remember it that well. It's just a blur, and then I walk away from it. It's probably just gonna fade. Just gonna fade. And then I got no one to blame but the fucking world. I'd be like, oh, well, ain't my fucking fault. And it's actually beneficial because now I can sit here and be like, listen, that was me that long ago. You want me to remember that shit? Go watch it yourselves. I ain't got time for this shit. You know I'm famous now, bitch. Boom. Peace. Don't have to deal with that shit. Now I'd be like trying to like, well, let me represent myself in some way. Because I feel like I can have a conversation about the topics I'm looking at. And like really put forth a strong argument. But then I'm also very adamant and like hard to deal with because I'm too certain and shit. Especially when I know what I'm talking about. Topics like expanding Earth. Alright. Before I just turn into casual crazy man. Peace out. See you guys in the next one. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it lots. I know I'm ranting and maybe subtly trying to encourage some kind of empathy so don't feel bad. As much as I need fucking help, don't feel bad. Just know I'll be around sooner or later. I definitely would appreciate help, but don't feel bad. And, fuck. Really, I'm fucking doomed, though. Like, I dream about making videos of me going places and making videos and shit. I'm just having all this pressure. Like, I can do things again. Just fucked. Just fucked. Let's see. Damn. Nada, dude. That was me. 601, so that was me. That might have been someone else buying a Kindle. And that's it. In the last year. No one gives a fuck. Fucking doomed. Especially when I give away my book for free. People are like, oh, perfect. I don't even have to pay them any money. I can just take it here. Since he offers it here. And then, perfect, thanks, man. And then I can talk shit on it. Because I read the first 3 pages and disagreed. And he didn't even get anything in return with at least me paying for the book. To be able to talk shit on it. No, he was kind enough to just give me the freedom to talk shit on it at first glance. That's my life, dudes. Fucking A. Alright. My feet are swollen. Peace out.